And I'm highly delighted this evening that we've got two guests from the Barrow Ladies Rugby League team. We've got one of the coaches, Steve Hartle. How are you doing, Steve?
I'm very good, thank you, Tony. Yeah, very good.
And we've also got Rebekah Thompson. Are you okay, Rebekah?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Right then, I don't know who's the best one to ask this question, but how was the club formed in the first place? And how many years have you been going?
Becca, go for it.
Yeah, there was only 3 of us that were there when it was first formed, and I was one of them 3. There's only 2 of us left now because the others are kind of like retired now. It was about 5 years ago now. I can't remember with the COVID. Yeah, 5 years ago we formed. I started as a referee, and the guy who does the refereeing, Terry, in our local area, he messaged me and he was like, "Can I come speak to you and stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah, no worries." And he was like, "I really want to form a ladies team in the area, but I don't know if we'd get enough interest." And I said, "Well, I definitely would want to do that." So we all met at Barrow Island Club, which is where we play, and yep. We all signed contracts. It was really professional, and we all had to sign contracts to say this and this, and that we were playing for this team, and this was going to be our new team. And we started it up, and then that's it. Ever since we've had that. We did have a different coach called John for the first 2 years, and then Si, Steve and Alex and Al, and now we've got Paul have all taken over, and there's a massive improvement since they've all taken over, absolutely huge. We started off at a team who were literally told just go out and have some fun, and we basically got told to just do the same thing week in and week out, and it was good, but we've just stepped up so much recently. We're a team that we're ready to win, and we know what we want, and our fitness is so good now compared to what it used to be. But yeah, no, that's when we started about 5 years ago, and it's been great ever since. We started off with about 13 people, enough for one team, struggled to get people on match days, and now we struggle to pick a team. It's that many people. Wow.
So what about you then, Steve? When did you first get involved?
So I became involved, like Becca said. Si Woodend took over the coaching from John, and I'd worked a little bit with Si at county level. We'd done some coaching together, and he asked me to come on board. And with my sort of background being in strength and conditioning, went to university, did all that, and learned from some really good people. So he brought me in, and I'd never ever coached women's rugby before. It was an absolute eye opener to me. And like what Becca said, they were a team when we took over that were near the bottom of the table. They were struggling to get a side out. And we've just put everything back to basics. We got them really fit. I mean, we put a plan together, ready to go, and we got them really fit. And Si then took over the skills, as well as myself and Alex, who was involved, because there was only 3 of us at the time. And they just started playing. We played Warrington Wolves. They came into the league, and they were the big team to beat, so to speak. First game of the season, we beat them, and we were actually the only team to beat them that year. So we're like, oh, this is pretty good, this. Anyway, that season, obviously they went from the season before being near the bottom, and we went to the grand final in Manchester. Unfortunately got beat. I think it was probably a little bit too much for the girls, and I don't think they'll mind me saying that. It was a big occasion. There was a big crowd there. I mean, Becca will tell you she played. It was a Manchester City's training ground. The Etihad was literally here, and we were right next to it. And it was amazing day out. But for me, or for all the coaches, and then we had obviously Alex and now Paul's come involved as well. So there's a good team of coaches there now with different backgrounds. And the improvement was what we wanted. I mean, everything else was a bonus. We got to the semi-final of the Challenge Shield. We ran a Super League team very close. We got beat, I think it was 20 points to 12 by York. And to run a Super League team close from where we'd been was amazing. We've had Lancashire representatives, because obviously there's no Cumbria in the women's side of things. And we also had 3 ladies represent England. So from where we come from, I mean, and it sounds like, oh, we did all the work, but, we put the things in, the structure in place, and the ladies just went with it. And the best bit was it wasn't them and us, it became a we. So when you become we, there's more of a buy-in. And it just showed it not last season, the season before, of the progress. And even, there was people came along to our games were like, wow, I didn't know the women's game was like this, and it was really good, and we were getting some big crowds. I mean, you know, there's quite big crowds a lot of times. Wasn't there, Becca? Probably at least 100.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think when we played York, and especially when we played Warrington, there must have been, you know, 200 people there.
Wow.
Which is great for the exposure of our club. It obviously helped the Barrow Island Club out with sales of booze and things like that behind the bar. So yeah, it's been a great journey. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thoroughly am enjoying it. They stress me out, Tony, but I love them to pieces. They're a great bunch. So, they're a really good laugh, and they're willing to learn. That's the best bit.
So before, Steve, did you say that you'd managed coached in the men's game?
Yeah, I'm a Hindpool boy.
Right.
I played for Hindpool Tigers for a lot of years, and then I ended up coaching the Hindpool side as well, and that's always been my club. And then I kind of just moved away a little bit from rugby. I think like everything, you kind of just need a break sometimes, don't you? And moved away, and I ended up being one of the assistants down at Barrow Raiders to Bobby Goulding, the ill-fated down there. I went in and I was doing a lot of the video work and the stats and things like that. So I learned a lot off. Bobby's a very interesting character. I did learn bits off him, but I also, Phil Atkinson and Dean Mowd were there, and they're two absolutely outstanding local coaches. I mean, really, really good. And it sort of pains me to think that they're not in the game still at the minute. Obviously, I know Phil personally and Dean personally, and I learned so much off them. So yeah, everything was all based around the men's side or the youth side. So I coached at county under 17s, and then I was lucky enough to go away with England under 19s as well. So it's always been men's until 2 years ago.
So what is the main difference then, Steve? You did mention there was a difference. So what are the 2 or 3 key points?
I'm going to have to be careful here, Tony. I think to be honest with you, skill level obviously there's a difference in skill level, and that's not just because it's male and female. It's just because males have been playing the game longer. Yeah, it's been a male-dominated sport. I think realistically, if you were looking at like a negative side, that's probably the only negative side. Commitment-wise, the ladies want to learn, they want to ask questions, which is good. It helps us as coaches because it helps us develop. Because a bloke, we just go, yeah, where the girls go, why are we doing this? So it helps us with our coaching as well, and our sort of a bit of CPD as well as we're going along. Fitness levels are right up there with the men's team. They really work hard. And just the physicality. I mean, people don't understand until they come and watch a game. I mean, we went to Widnes and there was a punch up, and I was like, wow, but it sort of took me aback a bit. But the physicality, Tony, I mean, you have to sort of see it to believe it. Yeah. It gets quite rough, doesn't it, Becca, at times? It's great.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've seen a few fights. Yeah,
but the main difference, I think, would be the skill level. Yeah. But it's that difference is coming ever closer. Yeah. It's coming ever closer. I think for me, what I'd like to see as well, just the difference-wise, is probably a few more female coaches. Yeah. I think we'd love to have a female coach with us. I think that's got to be the way forward. Yeah. Female coaches taking over with the males assisting, if I'm brutally honest with you. But so they're your 2 main differences negative-wise, but everything else, fitness levels, the girls are probably better than the men sometimes. Yeah. That's controversial. Wow.
So in your case, Rebekah, I mean, when I was younger, I was okay at football, and I used to look at rugby league, and I played the very odd game, and I used to think, oh, that's a bit too tough for me, you know what I mean? So, so what made, I mean, it is brutal, isn't it? I mean, it's quite a brutal sport. It's quite dangerous, when you look at the hits and everything. So what made you want to get into rugby league, Rebekah?
I remember the exact year that I got into rugby league. We used to walk past. I live really close to the Barrow Stadium.
Yep.
So me and my dad used to walk past, and I always said to him, "Can we go one day?" And he was like, "Yeah, do you know what? We'll go one of the days and we'll have a look." And it was in 2009, and we went, and Barrow absolutely
the championship.
hammered.
Yep.
Yeah, they hammered the team. They were so good at this point. They were like going for Super League status and everything. And we still are good, but obviously everything happened. But yeah, it was 2009, and I remember watching it, and I was like, "Oh, this is brilliant! I've never seen this before." And I was only 9 myself, so I thought this is like so cool. And then I met someone there called Alan, who used to be a local coach who isn't here and like around this area anymore. And he started a touch rugby season in the summer. And it was so amazing. We got to play with like Whitehaven and Workington players. And for me, that was like Premier League stars like playing. So it was so cool. And then I started playing touch, and it was mixed, and it was just tag rugby. And I managed to break my hand playing tag. So it was always so fun. And
told you it was brutal.
Yeah, I couldn't actually play until I was 13, I think, in league, in touch rugby, but in the league, because you have to be 13, I think. But yeah, it stopped when I was about 13. It all stopped, and then I was just watching it. I watched Super League. I'm a big St Helens fan, so I was just going there every weekend. And then that's like say Terry messaged me about 2 years after my touch rugby. I was 16 when he messaged me, and I was like at the youngest point you could be to play tackle. And yeah, that's when I got into it. And unluckily, when we first started, we got taught how to tackle, but like Steve says, there's a big skill difference. So like lads have been playing it since they were in school, whereas we weren't given that as an option. That wasn't up to us. So not my first ever game, I played at Castleford, and that was so overwhelming. No, it wasn't. Sorry, it was Wakefield. That was so overwhelming, because that was like they had a Super League team. And it was all just one league at that point, because women's rugby was just starting up. So they didn't have Super League Championship. It was just like all one league. So we were playing against some of the best teams, and we'd only just formed. And some of these people had been playing with each other since they were 5. And we were just there, like we'd been there for like 2 months. And I actually dislocated my shoulder during the game, and we popped it back in on the pitch. I was a centre, because we didn't have enough players. So I played centre, and that was bad enough. And my winger, who's actually like a good friend of mine, she looked at me and she was like, "Are you okay?" And my shoulder was just hanging, like it was absolutely terrible. So we popped it back in. I turned to my coach, and he said, "We're going to have to forfeit if you come off, because we don't have enough players." So that was some of the first games. But yeah, definitely. It was I still carried on. I had to have a year out. I had to have surgery to fix it. And then I had a year out. And when the year out I actually had, that's when Si and Steve took over. And then I came in a year after. So when I came in, it was all different. And I was like, what's going on? I was like, who are these people? But yeah, no, definitely, it's so much better now. And it's, if anything, like they've really got me back into it. When I first started, I was into it, but I didn't really want to play. I just wanted to watch. And now, like, even with the coronavirus situation, I've been training every single time. I've been going to all the Zoom classes. I've been doing extra classes. Like Steve does his own classes different days, so I've been doing them. But yeah, I really do love it. And my passion for watching it really got me into playing it. But yeah, I just love the game. It's just really saved me in my whole life, really.
Wow. So you are still playing now then, yeah?
Yeah. I played for a year, had a year out, and now I'm back playing again.
Oh, right,
so,
okay.
Yeah, I only had a year out. I carried on going and stuff, and I could just notice there was something wrong. And then I had to go to the physio. I have loads of doctor's appointments, and they were like, basically my ball and socket joint, it was just like it kept switching. So every day I would dislocate my shoulder. So getting in and out of the bath, getting changed, my shoulder would just come out of its socket like every day. So they said it was just basically keyhole surgery to fix it at Wrightington, and it's where all the professional sports people go. So I felt dead cool going there. But yeah, no, no, I had that done, and ever since it's been absolutely brilliant. I was scared to tackle at first, so I was a bit wary, but now I'm getting back into it, and definitely it took me a couple of years, and I feel like last season would have been a great season. I feel like it would have been a lot better because I've improved a lot, but obviously it got cancelled, everything that's going on. But yeah, no, I'm still playing. I'm eager to play. I'm only 21, so it was a bit of a downer because it happened when I was about 19. So it was a bit down because I thought I'm quite young. I don't really want surgery at this age. But yeah, I'm glad I had it. It doesn't change anything, and there's basically no scar.
So what, are you a centre?
No, I'm a prop now. I've been putting my rightful place now. I've always been a prop, but like I say, we literally had no people, and there was people unfitter than me at the time, which I didn't even know was possible. So they were like put at prop just to try and get through the game, and then they were like, "You can go as a centre," because I'm quite tall. I'm 6 foot, so it kind of comes in handy in different places. But yeah, they put me in centre, and I was like, I do not deserve to be on this wing. But yeah, no, prop now, so I'm definitely in the right place now.
So, Steve, back to you. In terms of recruitment, then, where do you get the ladies who want to play for Barrow Ladies Rugby League?
Well, they come from all over. I mean, Becca's probably good at answering this as well. We've got obviously the girls from Barrow, Ulverston. We are the only team in Cumbria. So we have the Maras come down, as we like to call them, the Whitehaven folk. So there's, how many is there, Becca's? About 3 or 4? Is there 3? I'm trying to think how many there is. I think there's about 4.
Oh, yeah, about 4 or 5.
Yeah. Why haven't they got a team then, Steve?
Because we won't let them, Tony. They've got to come and play for us. No, I
you
don't
want
know.
that competition, though, don't you, with the Maras? I mean, you want to work in Whitehaven, Barrow competition, don't you?
Yeah, but we like them playing for us. I'd rather them be on our side than against us. I think they tried a team in Whitehaven, and it just didn't take off. So obviously we were more established, like what Becca said, and they built up. So they've made contact with these girls, or the girls have made contact with us, and then they've come down, and we've got a bit of a link with Wigan Warriors as well. So they look to kind of, dual reg, loan players, whatever you want to call it. That horrible phrase, dual reg, which nobody likes in rugby league. But we potentially could have picked a few players up from there. But there's some lasses who play at Wigan who actually live round the Barrow, sort of Furness area.
Oh, right. So
we're hoping that they might not want to travel down there, especially with all the coronavirus at the minute, and they'll come and play for us instead. So yeah, we're very. I would say our recruitment's Cumbria. That's where it's at, realistically. There's some girls come down from CANDO Rugby Union as well, isn't there, Rebekah, every now and again. And I think we had a lass from Windermere Rugby Union came down. So realistically, it's Cumbria, but it's within sort of, Barrow, Kendal area up to Whitehaven is pretty much where we're at.
So you don't have a problem with the numbers then? You're getting enough people interested in wanting to play?
Yeah, we do. I mean, the good thing is as well is we get involved with what Shauna and the team are doing down at the Raiders with the Raiders girls.
Yeah, the community.
So we actually invite some of their older ones. So the ones who are, is it from 14 upwards? I think Becca, I think we invite.
Yeah,
and they come along to train. And obviously, if we're doing any tackling, we don't put them in with the adults because that would just be immoral. But they come and see what the setup's about. So the idea would be that transition through working with Shauna and T, and I think it's Ruth, isn't it, that's there. And then the natural progression would be to come through us. So then we are creating our own players then. Everyone wants a good youth system, and that's the way it's working at the minute. So, yeah, we'll have anyone. As long as, we can train you up, we'll take anyone.
So in terms of training and that, where would you, forget COVID for the moment, but where would you normally train? So we had it all organised. We were lucky enough to get the college pitch down at Furness College. So Matt Jefferson runs that, and obviously Matt's a coach with the men's team at Barrow Island.
So we managed to get that, and we were, I spoke with Sean Colyer, who's our head coach, and we were going to kind of share the pitch and maybe do some work together on a Thursday evening. Then we were going to do our strength work, which we'd never really done before. We'd done bits of it, hadn't we, Rebekah, but nothing sort of major. At the new Industry 13 gym, run by Liam Harrison.
Oh, yeah.
And 4 of his friends. So I spoke with Liam, and we got a time there, and basically they were giving us, it was later on in the evening, but they were going to give us the gym on a Tuesday for us to use for an hour and a half.
Right.
So that was the plan. And then obviously when the light of night comes, we would be back down at Rayton Lane at Barrow Island and training there. So our home base is Barrow Island. So we train there. They do have a gym there. It is small. It's probably a little bit too small for what we wanted. But I know some of the girls do. I think Rebekah uses the gym there, and a few of the others members. But that's how we planned it out. So it would have been Industry 13 on the Tuesday, college on the Thursday, pre-season right through until the light of night. And then we would have moved, probably the back end of pre-season would have been Industry 13 plus being on the field at the actual ground. Because obviously with the light of nights, it's a bit better. And we've got to protect the pitch as well. Because with the weather, you've seen what the weather's been like. If we trained last night on it, we would have just cut the training pitch up, and then it's horrendous for weeks on end then.
So is that the one in Rayton Lane, Steve? Is that about Barrow Island?
Yeah.
So in a proper season, your home games are on Barrow Island's pitch, are they?
Yeah. We play at Rayton Lane. Up on the hill.
Yeah.
it's part of our winning song, so it's quite good.
Yeah,
winning song.
I used to play football on the pitch next to it when I played for Barrow North End, and you probably don't remember that, but yeah, I know what it's like. So
well, that's not there anymore. Believe it or not, the field is still there because we play on the second pitch.
Yeah,
but it's just a bit of waste ground now. Right. It's just where people go and walk the dogs. So that's gone.
Yeah.
So looking towards the future then, Rebekah, what's the vision then? Are you gonna, I don't know, are you gonna merge more with the Raiders, or is that the plan, or are you gonna play home games at Craven Park before a proper league game as a curtain raiser or something? Is that, you know what I mean?
We're a bit up in the air with it, really, because we've thought many times like we were going to join with Barrow Raiders because for us to go Super League, we'd have to have a back-in from a team in like Championship or League One. So for us to ever get that far, we would have to have that. However, last year, I mean, we didn't even get asked, which was bad in itself, but we were on the verge of the Super League. Like, we were the second best in the table. Like Steve said, we were the only team to beat Warrington, and we did beat them really well the first game. Granted, they came back and beat us, but it was, the facilities are a lot better there. So obviously we needed to buck up, and we knew that after that game. But yeah, the end goal would be Super League for us as a team, but we want to get to the part of Super League where we stay there. We don't just go in and then go straight back down and then go up and go down. We're not wanting that. And you see that with the men's, with their Super League when they had it a few years ago. I think Lee went up and then the next season they were down, and the same's happened with Toronto, unfortunately. And it's just, we don't want to be like that. And luckily that the coaches, I know Steve said it's better to have women coaches, and I agree. We would like a women's coach, like, to see a lot more in the game. But I mean, I'm happy with Stephen's side and everything. But luckily, a lot of our coaches do watch rugby as well, so they also know of this, and they're used to that sort of stuff. So they were kind of like, they made a great decision. They were like, right, we know we're not going to go into Super League, even though we're up there and we're fighting for it. Like, next year, let's be the best, and then for a couple of years we'll be the best team, and then we'll have a look at going into Super League. But yeah, we've played a couple of games at Craven Park a few times, right, and we've only played a few, but I know the beginning of last year, just before everything happened, there was a few tag games, but we played one full game there, that was the Challenge Cup, that one, or Challenge Shield, not last year, the year before, and that was the quarter final. We played that one and we won that one, and then we played like I say, a tag game. But we're definitely wanting to play more games there. Like you say, as curtain raisers definitely would be a good thing. The only thing is with that is obviously the club losing money on the profits and stuff. So we'd obviously have to look into something to kind of cover that, because on the day, obviously, we have our bar and everything open, and programs and stuff that we sell. So it's just, that's probably one side of it. We wouldn't be too bad, but one game kind of seen us last year, not last year, the year before. So it's definitely something we'd look into, but we kind of need to make sure we're still playing the same, like, a lot of games at home, and then just maybe 2 or 3 at Craven Park. But yeah, like I say, I've always been a fan of Barrows and everything, so it'd definitely be something I'm interested in. But yeah, it's just what's best for the team, really. And what's best for the team at the moment is just to kind of stay local, stay grounded, and just do the best in the league.
Yeah, I'm sure you could come to some arrangement, couldn't you, with the club there from a financial perspective?
I think, Tony, like I agree with Becca there. I think it's got to be an arrangement which suits Barrow Raiders and suits ourselves. It can't be one-sided.
No.
It can't be Barrow Raiders just saying, let's come down, we want you here, this, that, and they're taking everything. We've obviously got to look after the club where we're based at the moment. And it would be unfair on us to say, well, we're just going to up sticks and go. I think as a club, we'd love to be involved with Barrow Raiders. It would look great, Barrow Raiders ladies, for the Barrow Raiders in general as well, to have a women's section. You look at the Castleford side, the Wigan sides, they've all got female teams and things like that. And it sort of just bolsters the sort of the club, and it would give it a bit more, game day wise, if we were to play before the men, gives our ladies more exposure, but it also brings people into the ground earlier. Yeah,
precisely.
And things like that. And it gives them a look at how good women's rugby is, and how much they're progressing. So I think there's a lot of talking still to do, if I'm really honest with you, Tony. There's lots of talking and negotiating, and it's probably not for me to do. With being a coach, it's more for the girls as a committee, because at the end of the day, it's their club. We were invited in as coaches,
of course.
And even though it's our club as such, it's their club. They're the committee. They look after things on that side. So there's got to be a balance. I think, like what Becca said, we've got to, we'd love to play at Craven Park. It's a brilliant open pitch. The facilities are great down there, but we've still got to look after Barrow Island as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So in terms of the future then, from a sort of financial point of view, if the ambition is to get in Super League, obviously you need to have that infrastructure around you as well from a financial point of view. So what about sponsorship and that? Is there anybody out there who may be listening who, would like to sponsor Barrow Ladies Rugby League team? Are you looking for sponsorship?
We do actually have a sponsor, the player, which we only brought in last year. Like I said, we are looking for Super League future, I would say, as a team. Obviously, I can't speak on the team, but we've all discussed this, and it's something we definitely want for the future. So we have started to sort of bring stuff in. So like our social media, even that, like we didn't have anything. And then I took over, and not to boost myself, but the page we've got Twitter now, we've got Instagram. The page is like boosted so much since like we've just had someone doing it and constantly posting and recruitment, and so that's kind of a tick. We needed that to go in Super League. We had to have like a viable social media page, so that's a tick that we've got there. Then you say like sponsorship. We started player sponsorship last year. So there was 2 different packages. There was a £50 package or a £100 package. I'm not too sure about the £50 one, but I know the £100 package that got you literally everything. So your name and your business in the programme every game. You've got like, I've got one on now. It's like a hoodie, and on the back, my business is on the back of it. So it's like training gear. You've got your business's name on the back of it, and we have a duty to wear this every match, so we have to wear our sponsor's name every single match. It was packages, stuff like that. There's so many, but we're always looking for sponsors. We're always welcoming them. We do have quite a lot, and we are so grateful for them. So if anyone's listening who's a sponsor, we do really appreciate it, especially through the coronavirus times as well. We do appreciate you supporting that. But we've got quite a lot of sponsors already, and that also comes with the Barrow Island side of it. The men's side, obviously, they kind of get boards around the pitch. So when they get theirs around the pitch, we put some of ours. So they've got like a big board around the pitch you can pay for. So yeah, no, we've got a lot, but we're always welcoming more. So you can never have too many sponsors.
Right, so we're just coming to the end of the interview now. So I'll just ask you one question each, then, if you don't mind, Steve. So in terms of COVID-19, then, obviously it's impacted every single club in the country. So when's the season starting, and how is COVID impacting upon your plans for the future?
Well, the plans that we made have gone out the window. No, they haven't. The plans, we've adjusted the plans accordingly to the rules, the regulations of COVID. We have tested, well, as of the end of today, we would have tested 11 of the girls.
Oh, right.
So okay. Part of our pre-season testing. Luckily enough, we've got a space where we're outside and it's a public area, so you can actually meet one person, for exercise. But with me being a business owner and being a strength and conditioning coach, I'm actually allowed to meet clients a bit more.
Right, okay.
So as long as it's one at a time, I can't have everyone there and they're spaced out between them. So luckily enough, we're using that, and we've got the outside space, and the facility we're using is really good. And we're outside it. Even when it's like this, we have to put the gazebo up and with the sides off. So with regards to training, we're kind of getting there. We're doing the Zoom classes on a Tuesday. So we did that yesterday, and we worked the girls hard. It was a bit of a tough session. So we're ticking over. We set them workouts and we ask them to do so much cardio. So I think this week's cardio is anything up to 3 miles, running, walking, cycling, whatever they want, minimum wise, and then they add on from there. So it's been disrupted, Tony.
Yeah.
It's not been as bad as what it could have been.
So when's the season start?
Yeah. So it's all dependent on the RFL. We've had communication out from them saying that hopefully the season won't be put back too long. So it was normally back end of March, April we start. But what we've got to consider is the national view. So
of course,
how quick these vaccines go out is the cases coming down. So we're really at the mercy of what happens nationally, like everyone else. And then we get the directives off the RFL. So fingers crossed we'll start in April. If not, I think it may be more May, June time.
Okay.
And it might be a shortened season, a compact season.
I think you're right.
So, So, it's just a waiting game. It's like everyone else. It's the same as the men's professional game down at the Raiders. Cresta doesn't know when they're starting. We don't necessarily know when we're starting, so we just wait and we get regular contact with the RFL. So fingers crossed we can go in April. We'll be ready whenever. We're definitely going to be ready. So it's who knows.
Okay, mate. Well, thanks for that. Now, Rebekah, if there's anybody out there who's listening and hopefully having a look at this Zoom interview on Facebook, what would you say to any young lady out there who's perhaps interested in getting involved in rugby league? What would your message to them be?
Basically just come along and just keep up with the page and just come along. The best thing normally what I do is when someone messages the page and says, I'm wanting to play, we get so many people say, oh, I don't want to do games or I don't want to do tackling. And we say, absolutely fine, just come along, watch the first session, you'll see what we do. And then if you want to join in. If you want to come watching and then get more involved later, that's absolutely fine. So we don't expect you to come in and be the best tackler in the world and know rugby inside out, and it's nothing like that, but it's such a good sport. I mean, it's not even just the sport, the friends that you've made. I've got best friends for life that I've made through this game, and I've only known them 4 years and they feel like lifetime friends. And it's just so good. Like I couldn't imagine not knowing them, and it's just brilliant. Just the atmosphere, it's not an atmosphere like men's can be sometimes a bit really competitive, and it can be a bit aggressive sometimes. times. And we are aggressive, but we've got to remember we're all a team and we really get on. And it's not like, oh, you're not part of the team, so you're a bit outside when you first come. As soon as you walk through the rating lane, you'll be welcomed like part of the family. And we've had so many people come and, like I say, they just watch it first. And the week after, I've had messages on the page like, oh, I've just been and bought rugby boots so I can join in next week. And the recruitment's like, it's been really good in the past few months and years. So it is really good. But we're always needing more people. And you're pretty much guaranteed to get a game in the season, like at least a game. And even if you don't, like, if you're not necessarily wanting to play a lot of games, even if you just think, do you know what, this weekend I might want to play, even if it's the weekend of the game, you can message the coaches and they'll put you in. Or if you just don't want to play and you want to come to training, that's absolutely fine. We get a few people that come just to obviously keep the fitness up. And like I say, every single person we've had to come that said, I just want to come and keep my fitness up, who's had a game, like they've all joined in. So even if you're just a football player, whatever sport you play, just come along, have some fun, and you'll meet such a group of people that you'll just want to stay for life. It's just amazing.
Good. Well, look, thanks both for coming on CANDO FM. Absolutely fantastic. I didn't realise there was as much of this activity going on at women's level rugby league. I've always been a big supporter of it, and I hope you both have great success in the future, and hopefully you can achieve your vision and your dreams of getting into Super League one day. How fantastic would that be for Barrow?
Yeah, definitely one day. I'm sure we'll be in there one day when we're ready.
Okay, well, thanks very much, and take care and look after yourselves.
No worries. Thank you very much.